Intention. The definition of intention is the following. 1a. What one intends to do or brings about. B. The object for which a prayer, mass, or pious act is offered. 2. A determination to act in a certain way. Resolve. 3. Intentions plural. Purpose with respect to marriage. 4. Import. Significance. 5. A process or manner of healing of incised wounds. 6. Concept, especially a concept considered as the product of intention directed to an object of knowledge. Without a proper intention, one will never discover the jewel within. The jewel is there, you are there, yet the jewel is still hid inside of you. The proper intention is the means to propel you to discover the jewel within. It is the glue which binds us to higher states of mind. Most humans have dense intentions which binds them to the five senses. They are texting on the freeway of life, oblivious of their true nature. The wise man cultivates inner intention daily. The fruits of his effort leads to enlightenment. Ponder this over. What is your intention in life? What are you focused on? Contact. The definition of contact is the following. Noun. The state or condition of physically touching. The state or condition of communicating or meeting. Verb. Communicate with someone, typically in order to give or receive specific information. Touch. What is the ultimate contact? You may touch everything, every object externally in the world, and yet you will still ultimately experience a void inside of you. A wise man consciously touches the jewel within and gets enlightened along the way. Feeling. The definition of feeling is the following. Now, an emotional state or reaction, a feeling of joy, similar, love, care, affection, fondness, tenderness, warmth, warmness, emotion, sentiment, passion, adoration, reverence, devotion, compassion, sympathy, empathy, understanding, concern, solitude, tender-heartedness, brotherly love, pity, sorrow, commiseration, condolences. 2. A belief, especially a vague or irrational one. He had the feeling that he was being watched. Similar. Notion, inkling, hunch, fancy, apprehension, persistiment, premonition, idea, vague idea, impression, gut feeling, feeling in one's bones, funny feeling, sixth sense, adjective, showing emotion or sensitivity, yet a warm and feeling heart, similar, sensitive, warm, warm-hearted, tender, tender-hearted, caring, soft-hearted, sympathetic, compassionate, understanding, empathetic, responsive, receptive, intuitive, thoughtful, emotional, demonstrative, passionate, sensible. Wow, just think we could tap into these qualities in each and every moment. The funny thing is, it is possible. Aspiration. The definition of aspiration is the following. Noun. A hope or ambition of achieving something. The yawning gulf between aspiration and reality. Similar. Desire. Hope. Longing. Yearning. Hankering. Urge. Wish. Aim, ambition, expectation, inclination, objective, goal, target, end, object, dream. 2. Medicine, the action or process of drawing breath. One needs to be full of aspiration to live a fulfilled life. When humanity punches the snooze button over and over, that is a signal, my friend. Our car is running on gas fumes. We need to fill our tank. What do you do when you are in a situation? We all have those off days where everything goes south. How do you handle that? Resolve. The definition of resolve is as follows. Verb. Settle or find a solution to a problem, dispute, or contentious matter. Come to the conclusion. Settle on a plan of action. Noun. Firm determination to do something. When a person has a problem, it's like a constant mosquito buzzing and harassing you. It's an irritant. You can't quite shake it off. The only way to do so is to resolve the problem. Easier said than done. This is where the art of mindfulness comes in. Mindfulness brings one to the center of the hurricane. In that state, all irritations of the mind get resolved. The problem may still be there, yet it can't touch you. This is why I say the spiritual path is the most practical path. What can be more practical than getting rid of the mosquito bites of the mind? In a clear state and vision, one can overcome any curveballs thrown your way. The times your problems define you. You go around and around in your mind getting worried. All this does is make you more stressed and uptight. You're not a happy camper who likes to sleep on the ground and be attacked by mosquitoes. The wise man has a mosquito-proof tent with a magnificent bed. He sleeps like a baby at night. Which one do you choose? Remember, you do have a choice. You have free will. Shame. The definition of shame is as follows: a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by the consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. We have seen recently politicians who have no shame whatsoever. Therefore, their actions are foolish and unkind. One politician lied over 30,000 times since taking office. Yet today, many Americans think that the election was rigged. Shame is a mechanism where a normal person takes into consideration before doing an unwise act. One who does not have shame has no buffering process. He will tweet what comes to his mind at 2 o'clock in the morning. A wise politician will go over his tweets with his advisors to make sure they are correct. It seems like shame is slowly drifting away. It is a central cornerstone in developing a proper state of mind. When one only votes for the party lines, shame goes out the door. Common sense goes out the door. Truth becomes fiction, and fiction becomes true. A healthy state of mind turns into a swamp. We should only be voting for people who have a stable mind and an ethical mind. Those who say the attack on the Capitol building was a walk in the park should be voted out of office. This is a sign of a very unhealthy mind. How can you govern with such nonsense? They can't even feel any shame. When this happens to the majority of the party, disaster can happen. Remember, the eagle needs a healthy left wing and right wing to fly. Passing laws is one of the functions of our leaders. Probably the most important is mental and emotional stability. Kindness is a lost art in our politics today. Maintain your power at all costs, even if it means bending the truth into falsehood and bending falsehood into the truth. At first they don't believe what they are saying, yet by saying it over and over, they become convinced of their lies. Where did shame go? Consideration. The definition of consideration is as follows. Now, carefully thought, typically over a period of time. A long process involving a great deal of careful consideration. Similarly, thought, deliberation, reflection, contemplation, cognition, pondering, meditation, musing, mulling, examination, inspection, scrutiny, analysis, review, discussion, attention, heed, notice, regard. The golden rule comes to my mind. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. This is the foundation for man. Where has consideration gone? Yelling, screaming, and flame throwing have taken their place for millions. No wonder we have so much chaos on this land. Basic human virtues of the mind have been ignored and replaced with such negativity. Remember, you are the company you keep. Every moment you are programming your mind for the positive or the negative state of mind. Your mind and body are interconnected. I think, therefore I am. This is the truth. It's not just a theory. Non-hatred. The definition of non-hatred is as follows. Non-hatred is a consciousness lacking the intent of harm towards sentient beings, sufferings, and the source of suffering. It has eliminated the generation of hatred. That, my friend, is desperately needed in the world today. There is a reason why the wise man simply smiles. He has nothing to say or prove. In that state of awareness, hatred is long gone. Hatred or non-hatred is a state of mind. It must be cultivated. When you were born, you didn't have an ounce of hatred in you. The world around you taught you how to hate. You took it hook, line, and sinker. It's not your fault. Yet you must clear yourself of the hatred. It does not serve you and the world. In fact, it's putting more gasoline on the fire of life. When one can see the interconnectedness of all things, one drops the hatred. This is your true nature. What happened? Why, as a society, do we contain so much hatred? Is this serving any purpose? Maybe it's time for internal housecleaning. We have garbage everywhere. Hatred has a putrid smell. You can smell it a million miles away. Love is the perfume of life. It is the essence of all. A wise man takes out the trash daily. The dump truck comes and picks it up. Over time, one fully embraces the perfume of life. By doing so, sweet fragrance fills the air. The mind, body, and soul are in harmony. This, my friend, is your true nature. Non-ignorance. The definition of non-ignorance is as follows. Non-ignorance is a mental factor that is characterized by clarity and sharpness and that serves as an opponent to the mental factor of ignorance. In reality, it is clarity in mind. It is called at times crystal clear. Ignorance is a lack of knowledge or information. Major problems happen in this world when the majority of people forget their true nature. Unfortunately, we aren't aware of it. Because of this factor, we can't see what we can't see. Then we say our awareness is normal and clear. I find it funny how so few people want to understand the basic laws of the mind. Why should I want to do that? Yet your mind is the instrument to decipher wisdom and actions to take. This is not a serious path, yet it requires discipline. A happy dog is a disciplined dog. An angry dog is an undisciplined dog. Proper training and discipline are needed to find the inner jewel. One can never find true wisdom externally. One can only find it inside of you. That's where the buried treasure lies. We have been taught to only focus on the external, therefore we live in ignorance. If this is not so, why is there so much chaos alive today in this world? Ask yourself, what are we missing? This knowledge has never been taught in our schools. We are taught only to focus externally on our happiness. Look where that has brought us today. We are sawing off the branch we are sitting on, yet we can't stop it. We need to send that text on the freeway of life. We don't have time to change or think about our consequences. My vacation is coming up. I've planned this for a long time. I don't have time to think about this. What a waste of time. Ponder this over. Maybe we got this picture backwards. Diligence. The definition of diligence is as follows. Now, careful and persistent work or effort. Similar, conscientious, industrious, rigorous. One must be diligent to have a healthy mind. A person can never rest on your laurels. Curveballs will always be thrown your way. You will stumble and fall. Just pick yourself up. The goal is to quickly recover and go forward. Nobody is perfect. Yes, perfection lies inside. Yet, nobody is perfect. We all make mistakes. Laugh at yourself. Have a great sense of humor. Enjoy the ride. Be like a little child. Don't be so serious. Yet be diligent in your actions. Don't give up the ship. Just put your hand on the rudder. Persistence, diligence will sail you home. Reliancy. The definition of reliancy is as follows. Adjective: bending readily, flexible, subtle, adaptable. It seems like our society is cast in stone. We are rigid in life. We can't see the forest from the trees. Society is not flexible to new ideas. Therefore, our minds and bodies are stiff. It is not supple. We hold on to dear life to our points of view on life. Anyone who doesn't have a point of view is our enemy. It seems to be getting worse in our society. Some say the Capitol building riot was a walk in the park. Despite hundreds of videos, still some say no violence occurred. Truth is fiction, and fiction is truth. Our mental state is as solid as a rock. Mind you, that's not a good state of mind. In that state, it's impossible to be supple, flexible, and adaptable. Humanity doesn't look at a person's state of mind. The media only looks externally, not the other way around. Maybe it's about time to look seriously at the inner video game of life. Currently, we're stuck at the chaos level with no end in sight. Our mental chaotic state causes the world at large to be chaotic. We are far from having a human society. The word human means divine mind. Man means mind. We haven't even come close to training our minds. Look at the world around us, and the world is spinning out of control. Yet the inner jewel exists inside of you. It's always been there, my friend. Why are we in apathy when the solution is staring us in the face? Master the video game of life, and you will be a happy camper. Conscientiousness. The definition of conscientiousness is as follows. The conditions or quality of being conscientious. Apparently, the secret to a happy, healthy adulthood is learned early on to deal with disappointment and developing character traits. Persistence, curiosity, conscientiousness, optimism, and self-control to surround it. Dina Pan. Not surprisingly, they have found that people blessed with innate conscientiousness, meaning that they are organized and predictable, typically eat better and live longer than people who are disorderly. Gretchen Reynolds. This trait is an incredible trait to cultivate. When a person is conscious of his actions, his life blooms like a flower. His actions come from his heart and wisdom within. Most of humanity is driven by the subconscious mind. In fact, over 95% of our actions come from it. One can be innocent as a child and have great wisdom. Great wisdom comes from discovering the jewel within. A conscientious person blames no one for his problems. His mind is calm and peaceful. A person who hasn't developed this trait tends to live life out of control. this person tends to grasp at straws. It's like the engine of life is backfiring. The spark plugs are not in sync. Life is extremely challenging. Remember, the more you pay attention to something, the more attention it will pay to you. This trait can be cultivated over time. Life is free-flowing, yet we must pay attention to our thoughts and actions. In each and every moment, we must fine-tune the guitar of life. To be an incredible guitar player, one must make a great effort. To master the guitar of life, we must practice in each and every moment. Mind you, this takes an innocent of a child to do so. Yes, this is a paradox. Life has many paradoxes. Ponder this over. It can and will take you far on this journey of life. Non-Harmfulness. The definition of non-harmfulness is as follows: benign, harmless, innocuous, inoffensive, safe, non-dangerous, non-injurious. The intention is to create a safe and harmless environment for all. There is a thread of love tying us all together. When a person connects to this thread, automatically a person's awareness is not harmful. One recognizes that in reality, we are all the same. Yet when we focus only externally, we can't see the true vision in life. We create separation. From a state of separation, we tend to get violent. Anger is among this lad. For many people, anger is the norm. Many people think it's funny to flame the other person. They get a kick out of it. Yet, that is a violent act. When we create division on purpose, we are adding gasoline to the fire of life. Many wise men understood these principles. Unfortunately, today, it's a ghost shadow. It's like we remember this concept, but it's so far away from our mental reality. It's like a silent whisper in the hurricane winds of the mind. Presently, it's very hard to hear. We get bombarded with worldly and chaotic affairs of the mind. Usually, the loudest gets paid attention first. A silent whisper never gets paid attention. I say common sense is uncommon. Violence has hit the mainstream for a long time. The truth has been distorted. Take the Capitol building riot. Some say it was simply a walk in the park. Truth has become fiction, and fiction has become truth. For many Americans, they are fading away from the truth. The more you say this, the more you will believe this. Aggression. The definition of aggression is as follows: noun, hostile or violent behavior or attitudes towards another, readiness to attack or confront, similar, hostility, aggressiveness, belligerent, antagonism, militancy, warmongering, warlikeness, violence, attack, assault, encroachment, offense, invasion, infringement. Where do all wars start? They start from the aggressions of the mind. Every single war has started that way. An aggressive thought turns into aggressive action. Mind you, it doesn't take too much. A leader could have had a bad night's sleep. It's as simple as that. The snowball starts going down the hill. Before you know it, it's out of control. The increased anger state of mind leads to aggression. Mind you, clarity has done an exit stage left. Snipus has left the stage. The mind is in a chaotic state. Presidents have said, my button is larger than your button. They were talking about nuclear weapons. Mind you, that is a scary thought. Why don't we vote for presidents who have stable thoughts? You would think we would have learned our lessons. Apparently not. Vindictiveness. The definition of vindictiveness is as follows: to pose, to seek revenge, vengeful, intended for or involving revenge, intended to cause anguish or hurt, spiteful. We have seen plenty of this lately. How can we ever vote for a president whose very false nature is this trait? Mind you, I said false nature. Our true nature is love and compassion. Yet, when it comes to politics, ethics, and morals have gone out the door. America seems to have lost its moral compass. Anything to stay in power is the norm. Cheat, lie, and steal are the norm. Why do we seem to embrace this trait in America today? Even some Christian groups said that God chose the previous president to be the chosen leader. That's a heavy pill to swallow. Where did kindness go? It seems like playing mind games and being vindictive is the norm. Even people who tell the truth are being prosecuted by their own political party. I've never seen that before, yet we see it happening today. Someday we will look at the past, and we won't believe how barbaric these times were. Look, I'm not taking political values. I'm placing human values. There is a huge difference. The ex-president mocked so many people that we became immune to this. In the past, just one of these mocks would have been controversial for years. Now, it's just standard in our daily life. An ignorant and dark mind embraces vindictiveness, not an ounce of emotional and mental maturity. They never left their childish games. We are here to transform. Without transforming, we are lost in our ways. Tick-tock goes the clock. You are part of the solution. What do you want? Darkness or light. It's as simple as that. Concealment. The definition of concealment is as follows. Noun. The action of hiding something or preventing it from being known. Similar. Hiding, secretion, cover, hiding place, secrecy, keeping hidden, hushing up, covering up, cover up, suppression, disguise, camouflage, whitewash. We all tend to conceal our faults to people. We say it's human in nature, yet we are divorced from nature. A wise man learns not to hide from anything. We have lived our entire life like leaves blowing in the wind. Consequently, we hide our imperfections. If we would just embrace our imperfection, we would use alchemy to transform ourselves. Remember, everything is energy. Energy can be transformed into something else. When we embrace the things we are hiding, it goes from darkness to light. The pain of hiding something disappears. The knot in the stomach goes away. Just think one small match can light up an entire room. You can transform any darkness inside of you. Just embrace it and release it. Make darkness your friends. Don't hide from anything. This is the way to heal oneself. Spite. The definition of spite is as follows. Noun. A desire to hurt, annoy, or offend someone. Similar. Malice, maliciousness, ill will, animosity, hostility, antagonism, resentment, malevolence, venom, evil intentions, hate, vengeance, nastiness, mean-spiritedness. None of these characteristics are positive. We don't want to be around people who have them. Some people's nature is full of spite. We had a recent president who took great pleasure in it. Many wars have been started due to man's spite for one another. Spite comes from a dark and undisciplined mind. When satisfaction comes from hurting, annoying, or offending someone else, this person has lost his moral compass. Our nation currently has a cloudy vision. When truth becomes fiction and fiction becomes truth, we are lost. When we have leaders who use spitefulness in everyday life, it becomes common and the norm. We then have people who think it's okay to be spiteful. This circle goes around and around, spinning out of control. We then tend to believe it's a positive state of mind. We think it's normal. Jealousy. The definition of jealousy is as follows. Jealous, resentment against a rival, a person enjoying success or advantage, etc., or against another's success or advantage itself. Mental uneasiness from suspicion or fear of rivalry, unfaithfulness, etc., as in love or aims. Vigilance in maintaining or guarding something, a jealous feeling, disposition, state, or mood. Jealousy will never take you far in life. It will make you bitter towards your fellow man. One will think that life is not fair. One thinks the grass is other greener on the other side. Nothing goods from being in a state of jealousy. It's a heavy weight we place on our shoulders. Over time, one's perceptions of life is a jealous nature. We do incomprehensible things, yet we don't have clarity. Jealousy taints the mind. It's like a shapeshifter. Unfortunately, we aren't aware of what we have become. It becomes a part of our nature. An unruly mind can become a jealous mind. A clear mind filters out jealousy. A person may have a jealous thought, yet the mind doesn't pick it up and act on it. We must always pull out our weeds within. Jealousy has never helped humanity. Miserliness. The definition of miserliness is as follows. Noun. Excessive desire to save money. Extreme meanness. The party earned a damaging reputation for miserliness by cutting pensions. Similar. Avarice, greed, stinginess, tightness, cheapness. Around 2025, it is calculated that Jeff Bezos will be worth $1 trillion. Just think, with all that money, you can be a miser. I can guarantee you that his employees won't see the light of day at that money. The more one has, the more money one wants. It's like a ghost drinking a bottle of whiskey. You will never get a drop. Many people are on the treadmill and can't get off. Being a miser is a state of mind. Nothing can satisfy you. You can buy all the adult toys you want. A miser only thinks about himself. He will never think about others. Consequently, one will live an unhappy life. There are two ways about that. When the mind is extremely obsessed with this state, unhappiness is the result. When I was in India many moons ago, many poor people would serve you an incredible meal. Mind, they didn't have much, yet they loved humanity. Most people do. A person who's a miser lost that a long time ago. We have seen many people in the news who have great power and wealth, yet they have lost touch with humanity. They have forgotten the thread of love tying us all together. Pretension. The definition of pretension is as follows. Adjective, characterized by assumption of dignity or importance, especially when exaggerated or unserved. A pretentious, self-important waiter, making an exaggerated outward show. Obstinaneous, full of pretense or pretension, having no factual basis. False, wants to pretend that one possesses qualities one does not possess. Acts as a basic for the establishment of the wrong livelihood and as a cause for engaging in lying. In other words, one is full of himself. This exaggeration will lead to lying. We had a recent president who lied over 35,000 times while in office. I find it fascinating how political parties drop their morals and ethics when in power. Yet if the other party did the same actions they did, all hell would break out. We are a fragmented nation. We tend to do anything to stay in power. That means we can cheat, lie, and steal. Most people know that our ex-president lost, yet they know by continuing to lie will create uncertainty. From this, the Capitol insurrection occurred. Months later, many said the event was a walk in the park. They know they are lying. Yet truth has become fiction, and fiction has become truth. Our nation is walking on quicksand. One small incident could cause the entire ship to sink. When fiction becomes truth, this is a sign that we are going the wrong way for the nation. Haughtiness. The definition of haughtiness is as follows. Noun, the appearance or quality of being arrogantly superior and disdainful. Her air of haughtiness, similar, arrogance, conceit, self-importance, egotism, sense of superiority, boasting, condescension, scorn, mocking, sneering, scoffing, snottiness. What is it about the computer that the rise of haughtiness arises? I've noticed this for over 35 plus years. When teaching or explaining to someone, we get haughty to the other person. It seems like when we know something and the other person doesn't get it, we get haughty. Mind you, we've been in the same shoes as the other person. I find this fascinating. I still stumble and fall over this one. It's definitely embedded in my subconscious. At least I'm aware of it. That's a good place to start. Some weeds are harder to pull than others. A change in the state of mind is needed. The result of the trigger must be nullified. One must develop compassion in each and every moment. When the trigger gets pulled again, one can be in an inner state of mind. I call this being in the center of the hurricane. I'm talking to myself here. This path is a practical path. We can learn and grow in each moment. Harmfulness. The definition of harmfulness is as follows: the fact of causing damage or injury to somebody, something, especially to a person's health or to the environment. I remember this incident in 5th grade. Bill and I were selling Boy Scout tickets. We were at the dock. Bill suddenly said there was a kitten in the water. I rescued the kitten. The owner of the house gave me a $5 reward. I have a hunch that Bill threw the kitten in the water. What is it in humans that we'd like to cause harm to another sentient being? Mind you, this is a minor incident where the poor kitten could have drowned. Somehow, this incident was told about through my school. My teacher asked about it, and I told her the story. A classmate stood up and said, "I was wrong to accept the money." A true Boy Scout never accepts a reward for his actions. I never heard that one before. I pray that someday humanity will wake up from our slumber. There is so much harm going on in this world, yet the majority of people are kind and compassionate. It just takes a few rotten apples to spoil the batch. Even rotten apples have precious seeds within them. Maybe it's time to discover our own precious seeds within. Shamelessness. The definition of shamelessness is as follows: lacking any sense of shame, immodest, audacious, insensible to disgrace, showing no shame. When truth becomes fiction and fiction becomes truth, it is a sad day for America. Many of our leaders have no shame. When many leaders say that the Capitol riot was a walk in the park, despite the video evidence, have they any sense of morality? Many laws are being passed to stop certain groups from voting. Half the population believes the past election was rigged. The ex-president has raised over $100 million from this falsehood. I could go on and on. It seems like common decency has faded away. To stay in power, despite any morals and ethics, is the norm. Yet the ones in power, if the other side did the same thing, they would be up in arms. All great civilizations' downfalls occur when common decency has left the arena. What's left is only power moguls who could care less about you. We even have the media that will spin the truth. We are on the verge of falling apart at the seams. Yet, we think our country is not in jeopardy. The signs are all around us. We are so locked into "I'm right and you're wrong." Remember, America needs the left wing and right wing to fly. Dullness. The definition of dullness is as follows: not sharp, blunt, causing boredom, tedious, uninteresting, a dull sermon. Not lively or spirited, listless, not bright, intense, or clear, dim, a dull day, a dull sound. Our minds need to be sharpened. Our society today is demonstrating that we don't have sharp minds. Note, we can't even get along with each other. Truth is fiction, and fiction is truth. We need to learn how to sharpen our minds. We can't see the brilliance within, yet we think we have all the answers. When the mind, body, and soul are not in balance, chaos exists internally and externally. We think everything is okay. Some people even think the Capitol building riot was a walk in the park. All the great masters said to cultivate the mind. Instead of listening, we like the weeds that we have grown. I have friends who get a kick at blaming others. To the delight of their friends, they love to see this. They actually enjoy mocking and putting down others. If we as a society wants to advance, we must sharpen our minds. Yes, it does take time and effort. It's so easy to flame someone. The hardest thing to do in the universe is to conquer your own mind. Afflictive. The definition of afflictive is as follows: adjective, characterized by or causing pain, distress, or grief, distressing. Pain and distress are all around us. Just look at the pandemic today. So many people have lost their loved ones. They are grieving every single moment of the day. Many more will die. Is there an end in sight? My heart goes out to all. As a nation, we can't even stand together. I have my rights, while thousands are going to the hospital every single day. We, our nation, have lost our moral compass. Even some of our so-called leaders are spreading such lies. The right wing and left wing must be united to fly. We must all unite and see our differences as blessings in disguise. We are a melting pot. We have forgotten that. We all come from somewhere else. Why do we hold on to our beliefs that it's my way or you're wrong and evil? Where did having a different point of view mean you have to hate the other person? If we were united as a nation, the pandemic would have been long gone by now. There wouldn't be so much unnecessary grief upon the land. Non-faith. The definition of non-faith is as follows: does not have affirmation for, and does not aspire to a virtuous phenomenon. Maybe, just maybe, this is the source of the problem. Humanity doesn't believe that this exists inside of them. These are mere stories. Otherwise, I would have known by now. When we think this is all fantasy, we tend to brush it off. For generations, the world has not found the jewel within. Most people have never looked for it. Scientists is proving today what the wise men have said in the past. Science and the world of mystics are slowly melting together. You are your own chemistry set. Science has proven that. Learn to be more open. You are the universe. You just don't know it. Modern day scientists has proven that today. Forgetfulness. The definition of forgetfulness is as follows. Noun. Lapse of memory. Similar. Absent-mindedness. Amnesia. Poor memory. A lapse of memory. Vagueness. My friends, we have forgotten who we truly are. You are the universe, and you just don't know it. That is the truth. You are magnificent. Yet, we all have amnesia. We come into this world with full awareness. Slowly, it starts to dwindle away. At some point, it simply vanishes. We may have flashes at some point in time, yet even then, we are too busy to see. We have totally shut down. This is the state of the world today. The world is in chaos. It doesn't seem like a way out of this mess, but there is a way. Find the inner Joel inside of you. This will lead you home. It's as simple as that. We spend most of our times in our minds. There must be a mind, body, and soul connection. You can solve this riddle. Laziness. The definition of laziness is as follows. Noun. The quality of being unwilling to work or use energy. Idleness. It was sheer laziness on my part. Similar. Idleness. Shiftlessness. Inactivity. And inertia. There is a huge difference between being lazy and one who has discovered the jewel within. The lazy man does nothing, yet his mind is extremely active. One who has discovered the jewel within lives in the center of the hurricane. Huge difference. One tries to escape from this world, while the other has his feet on the ground and his head in heaven. At times, being lazy is a reflection of our state of mind. We are lethargic and have no energy for life. Life has no meaning nor purpose. In this state, we are idle. The engines are running, yet we have the car in park. If we do this too long, we are running on gas fumes. One who has a purpose in life is constantly filling the car with gasoline. He will never have to worry about running out of gas. Non-Conscientiousness. The definition of non-conscientiousness is as follows. Antonyms: cutthroat, dishonesty, dishonorable, immoral, unconscionable, unethical, unjust, unprincipled, unscrupulous. Hey, this sounds like some modern current day politicians today. In some sense, many millions of Americans have no problems with these characteristics. As long as their party is in power, anything goes. Yet, if the opposite party has the same qualities, all hell will break out. Whatever happened to human decency? Distraction. The definition of distraction is as follows. Noun. A thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. Similar. Diversion. Interruption. Disturbance. Intrusion. Interference. Obstruction. Hindrance. 2. Extreme agitation of the mind or emotions. Similar. Frenzy. Hysteria. Mental distress. Madness. Insanity. Wildness. These sound like current symptoms in our society today. I've been on this planet for many moons. I can't ever recall a moment when chaos is so prevalent in our society. We are so distracted from the truth. Yet millions of people are waking up from their slumber. They are saying enough is enough for peace to be on this planet. You must have peace inside of you. One can live in heaven and still have his feet on the ground. That, my friend, is probably the most practical thing you can do. The jewel within is the source of wisdom that is needed in this world. You need this jewel. When this jewel leaves you, they will bury you in the ground. It's as simple as that.
Regret. The definition of regret is as follows. Verb: feel sad, repentant, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done, especially a lost or missed opportunity. Similar: be sorry about, feel apologetic about, feel remorseful about, have a conscience about, blame oneself for, mourn. Now, a feeling of sadness, repentance, or disappointed over something that has happened or been done. We all have things we have regretted doing. That's part of life. Yet we can learn from our mistakes. This is how we grow and learn. Life might be boring if no obstacles are thrown our way. Maybe that's why there is a duality in all things. We are playing the most challenging video game ever. It's called life. We have the opportunity to gather wisdom along the way. Furthermore, we can learn how to laugh at ourselves. Humor is the greatest medicine for the soul. Humor is a way to connect to the jewel inside of you. It is a heightened state of awareness. Humor allows us to dissolve our regrets. Been there, done that. We then can see the actions that created such regret and not get affected by the trauma it caused. We can laugh at the situation in a good way. Regret has transformed into gratitude. The situation can't be changed, but you can let go.
Investigation. The definition of investigation is as follows. Noun: the action of investigating something or someone, formal or systematic examination or research. Similar: examination, inquiry, study, inspection, exploration, consideration, analysis, research, fact-finding, search, evaluation. You are your own Sherlock Holmes. There is a grand mystery to be solved. You must use inquiry, inspection, and many other sorts of means to solve this mystery puzzle. The question is, who are you? It may seem simple, yet it is not. This life is like going to the movies. A light shines its light onto the screen from the projector. We get so sucked in, we think this is real. A wise man turns around and sees the projector of life. You have the key to solve this mystery. Many people never do this investigation in their lives. Ponder this over. Where are you in life? Analysis.
The definition of analysis is as follows. Now, 1. Detailed examination of the element or structure of something. Statistical analysis. Similar. Examination. Investigation. Inspection. Study. Scrutiny. Exploration. Probe. Research. Inquiry. Evaluation. Interpretation. 2. Short for psychoanalysis. Other schools' analysis has evolved out of the original disciplines established by Freud. The Greeks were outstanding at this. This was the golden age of man. Unfortunately, few people today use this. It's almost like a forgotten art. Most politicians lack this virtue. We must all take responsibility for acquiring this trait. If we did this, we could tremendously reduce the chaos in the world today.